I still remember the exact moment my entire world cracked open. I was 19, home on leave from basic training, wearing the same proud smile I'd had since the day I raised my right hand and swore to serve. My stepdad, Mark, was the one who drove me to the recruiter's office when I was 17. He'd been in my life since I was 6, the only father I'd ever really known after my real dad walked out. Mark was a retired army sergeant, all broad shoulders and loud laughs, always telling me I was his little soldier. Everyone said we looked alike when we smiled. That week I'd been feeling off, tired, bloated, just not right. Mum was working double shifts at the hospital, so Mark insisted on taking me to the base clinic himself. "They've got the best military docs," he said, squeezing my shoulder a little too hard. "Nothing but the best for my girl." The waiting room smelled like bleach and old coffee. When they called my name, Mark stood up with me. "Mind if I come back?" he asked the nurse. "She's shy about this stuff." The nurse glanced at me. I shrugged. I didn't know how to say no to him. I never had. The doctor was a major, a woman with kind eyes and a tight bun. She asked the usual questions: last period, symptoms, sexual history. I laughed nervously and said I'd never even had a real boyfriend. She smiled, told me to relax, and started the pelvic exam. I was staring at the ceiling tiles, counting the little black dots, when I heard her breath catch. Her gloved hand froze. The room went dead silent except for the hum of the fluorescent lights. Then she whispered, so low I almost didn't hear it, "What is this?" I lifted my head. Her face had gone completely white. She was staring at the speculum like it had betrayed her. A thin, strange fluid, milky and wrong, was dripping where it shouldn't have been. She looked up at me, eyes wide with something between horror and fury. "Sweetheart," she said, voice shaking, "where is the man who brought you here?" My stomach dropped like I was on a roller coaster that never ended. I couldn't speak. My tongue felt glued to the roof of my mouth. The doctor pulled off her gloves with a snap that echoed like a gunshot. She pressed the call button so hard her thumb went white. 2 nurses rushed in. She didn't even look at them at first, just kept staring at me like she was trying to hold me together with her eyes alone. "Get security," she ordered, "and find the civilian male who came in with this patient. Do not let him leave the building." I started shaking. Not little tremors, full-body shudders I couldn't control. The doctor sat on the stool beside me and took my freezing hands in hers. "Honey," she said softly, "that fluid, it's not normal. It's seminal fluid, but mixed with something that shouldn't be inside you at all. And there's scarring, old and new. This has been happening for a long time, hasn't it?" The room spun. Flashes hit me like punches. Mark coming into my room to check on me when I was 12, 13, 14, always when Mum was at work. The way he'd cry afterward and beg me not to tell, saying Mum would leave us both and I'd end up in foster care. How he made me feel like I was protecting our family by staying silent. I was hyperventilating. The doctor wrapped a blanket around my shoulders and held me while I sobbed noises that didn't even sound human. They found Mark in the parking lot, halfway to his truck. He tried to play dumb, said he was just getting me a soda. Security dragged him back inside. I'll never forget the way his face changed when he saw me through the glass window of the exam room, wrapped in that blanket, tears streaming, flanked by MPs. He started screaming that I was lying, that I was mixed up, that I'd always been too affectionate. The doctor stepped in front of me like a shield. She looked him dead in the eye and said, "Sergeant, you are under military jurisdiction for the rape of a dependent. You will never touch her again." I thought the betrayal couldn't cut any deeper. Then Mom walked in an hour later. She took one look at Mark in handcuffs, one look at me curled on the gurney, and her knees buckled. Mark immediately started crying, telling her it was all a misunderstanding, that the doctor was overreacting. For one terrifying second, I thought she might believe him. But Mum looked at me, really looked, and saw the little girl she'd left alone with him for years. She fell to the floor and screamed my name like her heart was being ripped out. That was the moment I stopped being his victim and started becoming the woman who would make sure he paid. The trial was brutal, but justice was merciless. Because it happened on a military installation and I was a dependent enrolled in DEERS, the case fell under military law. They found DNA, old injuries, chat logs, where he'd bragged to other predators online. He got 40 years in Leavenworth. No parole. The best part? The judge made sure every single person from our old neighborhood, his VFW buddies, everyone who ever called him a good man, received the court transcripts. His name and face are on the sex offender registry forever. When people Google Mark Reynolds, the first thing they see is what he really was. Mom and I moved 3 states away. We go to therapy together every week. Some nights we still cry, but more nights we laugh until our sides hurt, because we survived him. People ask if I hate him. Hate feels too small. What he did shattered me, but every piece that fell away revealed something stronger underneath. I'm a staff sergeant now. I mentor young female troops, teach them to trust their gut, to speak even when their voice shakes. I've held soldiers in my arms the same way that Major held me that day, and I've watched them rise too. That doctor, she still checks on me every year on the anniversary. She says I'm the reason she became a SARC advocate. I tell her she's the reason I'm still here. So if you're watching this and someone has made you feel small, dirty, or silent, please hear me. The moment you speak, their power ends. You are not what happened to you. You are the fire that burns the whole lie down. I walked into that clinic broken. I walked out free. And every day since, I've made sure the girl he tried to destroy never has to hide again. End screen voice gently fading. Thank you for listening to my story. If it helped even one person feel less alone, then every tear was worth it. You are stronger than you know. I believe you. Always.